Have you ever stopped to think that the most unlikely guy in Stranger Things became the heart of the entire series? Seriously, think about it with me for a second. If someone told you back in 2016 that arrogant playboy with the perfect hair would become the protector of a bunch of nerdy kids, you would have laughed right in their face. But that's exactly what happened. And the craziest part? We didn't just accept it. We started rooting for him more than any other character. Steve Harrington wasn't written to be loved. He was created to be hated. Remember the first season? That popular guy, dating Nancy, humiliating Jonathan, breaking his camera, spray painting the movie theater with that horrible message. Steve was everything we learned to despise in 80s movies. The school bully, the guy who never faced any consequences in his life. The typical disposable antagonist who shows up to cause trouble and disappears by the third act. But then something happened that nobody expected. He came back. He didn't come back to get revenge. He didn't come back to prove he was better than everyone else. Steve Harrington came back to clean up the graffiti he himself had made. And when he saw things were getting really ugly, when he saw the demogorgon threatening people he didn't even like that much, he grabbed that nail-studded baseball bat and jumped into the fight. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine yourself in that situation. A monster from another dimension right in front of you. You could run. Nobody would judge you. But you choose to stay, choose to fight, choose to protect. That's when Steve Harrington stopped being a character and became a real person. The second season solidified what the first one had planted, and it did so in the most unexpected way possible, by turning Steve Harrington into a babysitter for a group of 13-year-olds. The prom king becoming a van driver. The most popular guy in school getting dumped by Nancy and swallowing his pride. The tough guy getting beaten up by Billy Hargrove in front of everyone. And you know what's the most beautiful part of all this? He didn't become bitter. Most people, when they lose everything they thought defined who they were, spiral out of control. They get resentful, they blame others. Steve lost his girlfriend, lost his status, lost his self-esteem. And what did he do? He gave relationship advice to Dustin. He taught the kid to have confidence. He became the big brother those kids needed. There's a scene that gets me every single time I watch it. Steve and Dustin walking along the train tracks, talking about hair and girls, two completely different worlds that had no reason to connect. But right there, in that moment, one of the most genuine friendships in modern television was born. Dustin didn't want anything from Steve. He didn't want popularity, didn't want protection, didn't want status. He just wanted a friend. And Steve, for the first time in his life, had someone who liked him for who he really was. Not for the hair, not for the car, not for the jacket, for the real Steve, the one who makes mistakes, who gets beat up, who loses, but who always gets back up. The third season turned Steve into a legend, working as a sailor at the mall, serving ice cream with Robin, getting roasted by 12-year-olds. The guy who used to own the school could barely flirt with a girl without freezing up. And when he finally builds up the courage to confess his feelings to Robin, he finds out she's into women. Another character would have freaked out, would have felt betrayed, would have turned it into drama. Steve held her hand and said it was okay, said she was still the coolest person he knew, said their friendship was more important than anything. Take a deep breath and let that sink in. In a world where toxic masculinity is practically the rule, Steve Harrington chose to be vulnerable, chose to accept, chose to love unconditionally. And that, in my opinion, is what makes him the true hero of Stranger Things. It's not Eleven with the powers. It's not Hopper with the gun. It's Steve with the baseball bat and an open heart. The fourth season took this even further. Steve diving into the lake to save Nancy. Steve being attacked by bats from the upside down. Steve bleeding, hurt, barely able to stand, but still putting himself in harm's way to protect others. He never asked for recognition, never demanded that people look at him and see a hero. Steve simply did what needed to be done, every time, without exception. And maybe that's why we love this character so much, because he's who we'd like to be. Not the person with special powers, not the person chosen by destiny. Just an ordinary someone who, when the moment comes, chooses to do the right thing, even if it hurts, even if it costs everything. Steve Harrington's arc is about second chances, about the possibility of looking at who you were and deciding you can be better, about understanding that popularity means nothing if you don't have real people by your side, about discovering that being strong isn't about never falling, It's about getting up every time you fall. He started as the guy we wanted to see get beaten up. He ended as the guy we'd protect with our own lives. And the most incredible part? The writers didn't plan this either. Steve was supposed to die in the first season. He was supposed to be just another body in the demogorgon's path. But Joe Keery brought so much humanity to the character that they changed their minds. Steve's redemption wasn't calculated. It was earned. Scene by scene, choice by choice, moment by moment, just like it happens in real life. Nobody wakes up one day being the best version of themselves. We stumble, we make mistakes, we hurt people we love, we make stupid decisions. But every day we have the chance to go back, clean up the graffiti we made ourselves, grab the baseball bat, and face the monsters, whether they're from another dimension or the ones living inside our own heads. Steve Harrington taught us that it's never too late to become the hero of your own story. And if a playboy with perfect hair could do it, why couldn't you? But tell me something that keeps hammering away in my head. Did Steve become who he is because he lost everything he thought was important? Or was he always this person and just needed all the masks ripped away to finally see it?